Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to my wizard guide. I've been getting a lot of requests recently about making a new one since the old one is a little bit outdated. So for the people of you or the people that don't know who I am, the number one wizard right now. I stream a lot on Twitch. I'll link it in the description below. You can check it out if you want. If you want to see some gameplay, I guess. Yeah, let's get right into it. So to start off, I guess this is like my go-to build. Like it's one of the two shields, right? It's either runic or chilling. Why this build? Because I play a lot of rogue mage priest, and the rogue mage priest you kind of want to go for a burst opener. So rogue mage priest, by the way, for the guys ones under you that don't know what it means, it's wizard, assassin, mystic. So basically, what you want to try and do is you want to frostbolt them as your filler. If you want to burst, you just Iota Storm, Frostbolt, Spikes, Missiles. You have your Chilling Armor or Runic Shield, depends. If you depends what you play against, right? If you're at high elo, you're gonna face the same people a lot of times, and if they're running melee cleaves, you probably want to switch to Shilling. If they're running ranged cleaves or ranged comms, you want to swap to Runic. Against mixed comps, I always go Shilling to be honest, because I really enjoy Shilling. It gives you an opportunity to do way more damage because it has a chance to freeze your opponent. Every time they're frozen, you can pump an extra magic missiles in there for a lot of damage. I run Flash Freeze. A lot of people ask me why not run Geyser. Really simple to me, honestly. It's a 20-second cooldown. It has less area of effect range, and it's just, in my opinion, it's just not as good. Of course, you can. It's off GCD, and you can use it wherever. But if I really want to use Flash Freeze for damage, I can just walk into the enemy team and just pop it, and I'll still be able to do a lot of damage. Teleport and Crystallize are both really must-have. They are super strong, unreplaceable, and are just huge to use. I have the Storm. I do swap this out for Poly sometimes. It really depends who you're playing with and what you're playing against. If you notice that you don't have enough damage, you probably want to run Eye of the Storm, because it amplifies all the damage received by 12% on all the enemies that it hits. And it applies Shilling, which allows you to spam magic missiles or combo it up with your burst, right? So you can just Eye of the Storm, spikes, and then spam magic missiles. For the rest, people have been asking me what fire build I would run. If I would run a fire build, I would probably run this. And sheep or meteor, right? Probably meteor. Meteor is a must. This would probably be my fire build. Maybe runic instead of shilling. Depends again who you play against. You can play this with a champion, for example, it will work well. You can play this with a lich and it would work well. You can play this with a lot of classes and it would work well, but I think the skill ceiling is not that high. It's not that hard to play. All you have to do is just spam fireball, and when you want to burst, you just combust into Agonized Ascent. The only thing that will make this super strong is if you hit a lot of meteors, but in high elo, I feel like that's super hard to do. But I've seen people do it. For example, Carven, the number 2 wizard right now, he plays this build or something like it. It's not a lot different, probably. He hits a lot of meteors, and they are definitely game changers. Then there is a one more build I want to show you guys, and this is a very niche build to use. You can only use it when you play with, for example, a Shadow Priest that is really good at what he's doing and knows how to play the game properly. So this build is made to go into overtime a bit. Right, you're not gonna one-shot people with this. You're gonna have to be in comms and be very specific about when you want to burst someone, because the only burst you got is Frostbolt into another Frostbolt, into spikes, into another Frostbolt. That's basically your burst. Now, why do we use Lightning Strike? Lightning Strike is really good to peel for your teammates. It's really good as an interrupt. It has a lot of range. I would not use this for damage, by the way. It's useless if you want to use it for damage, unless you're 100% certain you're going to get the kill with it. Runic Shield, because you want to live super long, right? That's the whole point of his build. You want to live super long. Same for Poly. You want to Poly the DPS off you, or the healer when you see a kill potential. But yeah, this build I would recommend if you play with Nihilist or Lich or something like that. No, not Lich, not even Lich. I think it's only worth it when you play it with Nihilist. I'm gonna put my build back into it, and I'm gonna show you guys the rotation for this build. So basically, it is very easy rotation. You wanna Eye of the Storm, Frostbolt, Spikes, Missiles, Missiles. So it does a lot of damage. I did crit a lot here, so that's also a difference. So this is your rotation. It is 50% of their health. It's a lot. Meanwhile, your other DPS also does 12% increased damage, so it's huge. Now imagine someone is kiting you around this pillar, right? It's their healer. He's kiting you around this pillar, and you don't have a way to catch him. You can just Eye of the Storm in, spikes, missiles, missiles, and just keep spamming missiles until he's not frozen anymore. This is super strong because you don't have to cast and you can basically just run around with him. Super strong, definitely recommend it. If you don't have Eye of the Storm up, there is always the opportunity to just, while you're running after him, flash freeze and then spam missiles on him. Because he's going to be frozen under the flash freeze and the missiles will do extra damage. If you want to keep your pressure high, I recommend you Magic Missile after every Frostbolt, but don't do this the entire game long. If you're bursting someone, imagine for example, I'm bursting this target. I'm bursting him hard, okay. He looks like he's getting low, okay. If he's getting low, you try to pump him as hard as you can. And with pumping them, I mean Frostbolt into the Magic Missile right after. So basically, to run it all down again one more time, your burst is Eye of the Storm, Frostbolt, Spikes, Missiles, Missiles. Super simple. You try to Magic Missiles every time someone is slowed or frozen, but don't spam it too much because you will be in mana problems. And that's all you have to know for this one shot. Now let's get on to another build. So the fire build, for example. Here we go. Meteor. So for the fire build, you want to try and hit your meteor, fireball, combust, Agonauts Descent. That's your burst. It's not as much as the frost one, but it's still great. The thing with the fire one is you have it back very fast as all instant casts, and it doesn't rely on slows or flashes. Freezes, sorry. So just combust Agonaut when you're running around the pillar. It's super easy. It's up every second or so, like, and if you want to just filler damage, you fireball. And it does a lot of damage. Fire definitely does a lot of overtime damage. Has a lot of pressure. It's definitely a great spec, but I just don't prefer it. And then for the last build, the one I show you at the end. This is a very uncommon build, and it's not run. You don't run this unless you're 100% certain your team is really good. So for this one, Frostbolt, Frostbolt spikes, and another Frostbolt. That's your burst. It's not a lot, it won't do great damage, but it will still pump someone. Believe me, it's enough damage if your teammate is good. And especially if you get crits. Don't ever do Frostbolt into instant spikes, because it will end up like this, look. Frostbolt spikes, you see? He's not stunned now, he's just rooted. That's because he wasn't because he wasn't slowed before you did the spikes. So always make sure you hit him with the Frostbolt first, then you cast another one, so Frostbolt, Frostbolt, and then you can spikes. into another Frostbolt. Very complicated, but you'll get used to it. Once you figure it out, it's not that hard. It's actually super simple. That's it for the builds, I feel like. I think there is not really a lot more to say about it. If there's any questions about builds or anything, you can always DM me on Discord or just tag me in the general chat or just add me in game. I will definitely help out with them. I'll definitely respond to them. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you got something out of it. Peace.